Coming up in today's video, I'm going to show you how to install your Nanrobot electric scooter seat on your scooter. Then we're going to go for a ride, test it out, and I'm going to tell you some of the things that I like and don't like so far about this new electric scooter seat from Nanrobot. All that and more coming up on today's episode of Hobart's Reviews.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Hobart's Reviews. My name is Hobart. So I finally got my hands on one of these guys, the Nanrobot electric scooter seat. I've wanted one for a while, but at $200, it's a little bit steep for my budget. But a couple of weeks ago, Roadrunner Scooters put them on sale for $109, so I went ahead and snagged one up. And I've had it for a couple of weeks now. I've put some miles on it. I've got some pros, I've got some cons, and later in the video when we go on my test ride, I'm going to tell you all about those. For those of you who are here to learn how to install it, because I didn't get any installation instructions, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that now. All right, so one of the very first things that I want to go over is the seat and the seat post. Now, these do come separate, but I don't think I need to go over in detail how to put a seat post onto a seat. I will tell you it comes with the generic seat insert that you remove. Then you're going to take the seat post with its own bracket, shove it into the same place that was, put your bolt through, and you're good to go. All right, let me go ahead and show you how to put the rest of this together. So the first thing you're going to need to do is install your base plate. The base plate has 4 holes. You're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4 of the bolts from your deck, and Nanrobot gives you 4 longer ones to replace them with, all right? So this right here is your base plate. It does have this little spring latch here, which I'll show you in a minute, allows your seat post to fold down. And then you have this here, which also needs to be adjusted and tightened so that it can lock this down and keep your seat from folding down while you're riding. So I'll show you all that here in a second, but let's go ahead and install this. Remove those 4 bolts. Then you're going to take this base plate and put it over those holes. Take your new longer bolts and go ahead and install them. So I'll go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that we got the base plate on, let's go ahead and install the base post. The base post is pretty self-explanatory. You've got an adjustment up top to tighten your seat post down so it doesn't slide. Then you've got 2 holes in the front for your anchor bolt, which anchors it to your deck. And in the back here, you have a little cutoff for that spring-loaded pin that I told you about earlier that allows this to fold down. So let me go ahead and show you how to install it. First, you're going to set this right over the top, lining up the front holes, and then you can push this little spring-loaded pin in, and that will lock it to the deck. But as you can see, it's not anchored, so I'm going to go ahead and put this anchor bolt into the front to anchor it to the deck. Now be careful with this guy, because I've noticed since I've put this on just one time so far that this anchor bolt is super soft. The hexes are trying to strip almost immediately. So you do need to get this super tight, but at the same time, you want to be careful that you don't strip out those hexes. That's one of the cons that I don't like about this, is those are super soft hexes and you're going to strip them out if you're not careful. All right, so now that we got that anchor bolt in, we've got our little safety pin in, but we still got jiggle jaggle going on. Well, that's where this comes in. This little latch in the back, you're going to want to adjust and tighten so that you can put it up on here, tighten it down, and take away all that play and all that jiggle jaggle. So this is what allows you to fold down your seat, and you have to push that little spring-loaded pin in the back in order to release it, in order to get it to stay. Then once you get it where you like it, you lock it down with that, and now it's sturdy. So now we got the base post and the base plate installed. The only thing left to do is to put the seat on, and that's pretty simple. You're just going to slide it down inside here, get it to the height that you like, and make sure you adjust this right here as tight as possible so that when you do push this latch over, it's super tight and doesn't allow any slippage. Now, speaking of slippage, that's one of the cons about this seat that I don't like, is that I've noticed that when I sit on it and I leave, when I come back, it's like 1 inch to 1.5 inches lower than when I left, and it's slipping slightly. Now, I was online and I found somebody on Facebook who had a fix for this, and I don't know their name, but I want to give you credit for showing me this. Is what they did is they took a piece of a broomstick and they cut it off and they shoved it down inside that tube and installed their seat, and voila, no more slippage. Well, I didn't have a broomstick handy, so what I did have handy is a piece of pipe from work. So this is a piece of 3/4 inch pipe. The outside diameter is just slightly smaller than that diameter, so I can take it and slide it down in there. Put my seat post back in, And you can see it stops right there on that piece of pipe. Now when I go out, I come back to the same height as I did when I left, and I have no more slippage. So there's a little hack for you. The piece of pipe I put in there was 6 inches long, okay? 3/4 inch pipe, 6 inches long, fits in there perfectly. Nanrobot, if you're watching, we need this to be longer so we can sit up a little bit higher. We don't want to be riding like this, we want to be riding like this. So make your seat post a little bit longer, otherwise we're going to be forced to modify it with some pipe. So now that we got this installed, I've told you about my little hack to prevent slipping. Let's go ahead and take this on a test ride, and I'll tell you some of the things that I like and more of what I don't like about this electric scooter seat. All right, so let's go over some of the pros and the cons of this scooter seat. We'll start off with the things that I like. First thing that I like is sitting down. Sitting down versus standing up is so much more stable and sturdy, especially at higher speeds. So, you know, if you're riding at 20 or 25 standing up, you start to feel the speed wobbles, and you're just like one sidewalk crack away from crashing, right? Well, that all goes away when you're sitting down. It changes that center of gravity. You get that little triangle that I've seen online, and it makes it so you can go much faster and you get no speed wobbles. You feel sturdy as 38 as you do at 10 miles an hour. So I definitely like the fact that sitting down makes it much more sturdy, especially at higher speeds. Now, pro number 2 is going to be this seat. This seat is awesome. Nanrobot, great job. It's nice and big. It's soft. It's got springs underneath. It's really nice and comfortable after the first few days because I had to get used to it. But overall, it's really comfortable. I do like the shock absorption that you get in the seat post as well. That's adjustable. So great job on the seat. Pro number 3 is going to be the fact that you can fold your seat down, fold your seat post down, and it's easy to be able to put it in your SUV or your car and take it to a destination to go ride, and you don't have to take all the hardware off. Pro number 4 has to do with the same thing. Let's say that you want to go riding and you want to stand up and you don't want to sit down, but you don't want to take all the hardware off. Well, all you have to do is undo this clip here, pull your seat off, push your little spring pin that I showed you earlier down below, fold down your base post, and boom, you're ready to go. You've got your deck back, you can stand, you can ride with ease, and you don't have this post or a seat in your way, and you didn't have to take off any of that hardware, which is the most important part. So that is pro number 4. Let's go ahead and get to some of the cons. Con number 1 is definitely going to be the price. $200 for an electric scooter seat? Good Lord, that's a lot of money. Now, I told you I got this for $109 on sale, and that's the only reason that I bought it. I don't think I'd pay $200 for the seat. Now that I've got it, I probably would, but you know, without knowing, it's really hard. And $125 definitely seems like a fair price. So Nanrobot, if you're listening, bring that price down a little bit so more people can afford it. Another con is definitely going to be the fact that this seat post is too short. I need a couple of more inches, Nanrobot, because when I'm riding, I don't want to be riding like this. I need to be riding like this. Otherwise, it really hurts your shoulders when you're riding. These handlebars are high. We need to be higher than them. You know what I mean? At least our shoulders need to be. So please extend that bike stem a little bit more, that seat stem. The next con is going to be the fact that this clamp cannot hold that seat stem from slippage. For when you leave the house and you come back, you might be an inch or two shorter because of the slippage that happens while you're riding over bumps on your ride. That's why I put that piece of pipe in there, so that I don't have that slippage, and now I come home at the same height as I did when I left. So definitely do something to maybe make that a little bit stronger so that it grips that bike stem, seat stem a little bit better. Con number 4 is definitely going to be that anchor bolt down there. That anchor bolt is just one installation away from stripping. So if you can, replace it with something a little harder, maybe some harder steel or stainless steel. Nanrobot, if you could please do that so that we're not stripping out that anchor bolt, which is pretty important on the very first installation, all right? So other than that, I really like it. A couple minor tweaks, but overall, I would buy it again. I definitely like sitting down while riding. I like being able to lean into my turns. I just really like the overall experience. So if you're wondering, should I buy one of these? Yeah, go ahead and pull the trigger. It's absolutely fun. It's absolutely awesome. Well, that's all the time that I've got for you today, friends. My name is Hobart. I appreciate you joining me. If this video helped you out, install your scooter seat, or maybe make a decision on whether you should buy one or not, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so next time I put out a video, you will be notified. I'll also put a link in the description for those of you who want to buy one directly going to Nanrobot. So I'd appreciate it if you use that link. It is an affiliate link and it helps out my channel, but it doesn't cost you any more. So that's all the time I've got, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Hobart for Hobart's Reviews. Have a great rest of your day. Keep riding, and we'll see you next time.